Instagram, and hello, Facebook and YouTube. Lauren here from Raw Raw Consulting and the Raw Raw Spirit team. And I just realized that I haven't talked with you in a while. I forgot to get my pom poms out of the other room. So, whoops. That's not how I want to start this conversation. So, hopefully, Spirit Fingers will work for you. Well, I wanted to just touch base with you, honestly, because I was doing a pretty good run there where I was showing up for you every single week. And then since Christmas, I've just been so busy that I haven't been popping on for an inspirational moment or to just touch base and see how you're doing. So, thank you for tuning in. Please do, if you've got any questions, comments, I'd love to hear them. Just leave them in the comments on Insta and as well on Facebook. Let me know what's going on and how things are with you. Thought I would take a couple minutes today, though, to just kind of tell you what's been going on and let you know about some awesome content that I've been putting out lately and making sure that you know about it so that you don't miss it if you are, in fact, interested. So, first of all, I just got off recording an awesome episode for the Raw Raw podcast with the fabulous Cassie Parks. And we actually talked about, drum roll please, manifesting $10,000. Now, I was pausing there for my desired effect was for you to go, what? Say what? But yes, manifesting $10,000. So if you are interested in manifesting $10,000, then make sure you do tune into the Raw Raw podcast when that episode drops on Monday. So, a couple of other things that I wanted to kind of let you know was going on with me essentially is that I've been putting a lot of effort and a lot of emphasis onto the Raw Raw podcast. And one thing that I originally started when I did that podcast was actually doing, the content with a guest, like having a guest expert in and speaking with them. And I started taking inventory on the fact that I had messages also that I wanted to share with you that very often I was doing as a Facebook Live and or an Instagram Live. I see you. And I kind of realized that I wanted to share a lot of that content as well directly on the Raw Raw podcast so that, people can get it whenever they want. It's there for them to reference later. It's easy on their phone. If you're already a podcast listener, subscriber, you might already be used to getting into that habit. So just wanted to kind of alert you to the fact that if you are interested in any of these subjects, that some of the latest episodes on the podcast are there for you. So I've done one on setting goals and forming habits that actually serve you. One of the, things that I notice, one of the challenges that people often have is with their goal setting is that they don't always know what they want or how to get there when they do know what they want. And so I kind of go through step by step on, how to really set and achieve your goals and get those targets really clear for you. And so that's a really awesome episode. And it's also not super long. It's I'm just checking it out right now, but I think that episode is, it's probably under 25 minutes. Yeah, it's about 23 minutes or so. So yeah, it's not a huge commitment and it can change your entire life, which is pretty awesome. Okay, a couple of other things. I also talk about the power of first impressions and what your choices say about you. So I think that very often we forget that we are making a first impression on everyone we meet for the first time, and that we're constantly, presenting ourselves in a certain way for the people that do know us as well every time we show up, like no matter how we show up. So in that episode, I talk about the power of making sure that your car and your home and your desk and your office all are in line with the person that you want to be and the person that you want to transform yourself into, as well as the person that you want other people to see you as. So that's a really cool episode. I also have a part 1 and part 2 episode where I talk about business basics, and it's sort of like a mid-year review. Now, I know it's February, but I just want to encourage you that if you haven't done a mid-year review yet, this is in relation to your goal setting, your financials, your socials, things like that, that I would really encourage you to check out that episode. Check out part 1 before you check out part 2 and really do some of the steps there. I think that you'll find that it really can transform and change the trajectory of where your business is headed. All right. And finally, I've had some amazing guests on the Raw Raw podcast lately as well. So I actually spoke with Elias Sandovar, and we talked all about gamification. And I'm a I'm a total gamification nerd now. I didn't really realize that I was as into it as I am, but I do realize that with the spirit fingers or the pom poms and things like that, that I do try to inject joy. The branding that I use is really colorful and kind of fun. That I guess some of the stuff that I have been doing innately really kind of falls under the guise of gamification. So if you have a business, no matter what your business is, you really want to listen to this episode, because what it is she's talking about different strategies in which you can make your products a little bit more interesting, a little bit more fun, a little bit more memorable. And when they're fun and memorable and interesting, what are you going to do? You're going to have a higher retention. You're going to have people that convert better. You're going to have people that talk about your product, your service, whatever it is that you're offering to other people, because it was so memorable and different. And it's an opportunity for you to stand out in a marketplace that is pretty crowded, and stand out in your own unique way using your own unique voice. So that episode is off the chain. You need to listen to it. Okay. And then my recent episode was with Sandra DeFreitas, and we talked about the power of Facebook groups. And I kind of had some major aha moments in that. Now, Instagram, totally love you, but you don't have Facebook groups. So, if you're on Instagram and you want to follow me on Facebook, please do that. But basically, she was talking about how you can use free Facebook groups as sort of like feeder groups for your offers, for your launches, for your membership, things like that, for a way to really kind of get to know your audience and build a community around what it is that you're selling or providing. And so I really realized a lot of things in that conversation, and I think you will too. So I'd really encourage you to go and check it out and have a listen. And then, as I mentioned, the episode coming up on Monday is with Cassie Parks, and we're talking about how to manifest $10,000. So, these are all episodes that are awesome, that are set. My motivation is to help, I guess, you live the best life that you want, and to give you some tools and tips and tricks to help you do that. And then, of course, as always, you just run everything through your own filter. Does this feel true to me? Does this feel good? Yes. If not, leave it. That could be for somebody else, and just take what, suits you and what's good for you. Okay, so if you haven't already followed the Raw Raw podcast, I hope you will subscribe. Please tell your friends so that I can, continue to be inspired to keep putting out content for you. Although I do love hearing from you. The DMs are awesome. The messages that I get about the content, or the things that, we've talked about on the episodes, and how, they've been put into practice to transform your business and your life. Really awesome. So thank you so much for that. So please keep those coming. Now, finally, just in closing, I will just let you know that I have modified the Spirit team slightly. I decided that what I was doing initially was I had a Facebook group, and I was putting a lot of content in there. And I kind of felt that I was potentially running the risk of overwhelming people with all the, resources and content. So what I decided to do was pivot. So I'm now offering one-on-one mentoring services. This is for business and life mentoring. So if you want to work on mindset, if you want to work on self-care, if you want to work on confidence, if you want to work on public speaking, if you want to work on content creation, social media, if you want to work on your business strategy, if you want to work on gamification, anything like that, I can help you along on your journey. I'm also doing that in a group session. So if you don't want to invest in the one-on-one mentoring, that's totally fine. You can join the group session, and we meet 2 times a month. And we go over content that's similar to what I listed above. A lot of goal setting, a lot of accountability, me following up. Hey, where are you at? Making sure that you're doing what you said you were going to do, and then helping you along if you're getting stuck. So that's basically what I'm into. And you know me, I got lots more going on. But that's all I'm going to share with you today, because I just don't need to overwhelm you with my talking. So as always, thank you so much for spending time to just listen to me have a little bit of a rant, I guess you could say. And yeah, I appreciate all your support as always. So thank you so much, and I'll talk to you next time. Bye-bye. Bye. See ya.